Hi there, my name is Michael Watson, and I am a student at Whitefield College, and I love God, I love Jesus, and I just want to share today how Jesus changed my life. I wasn't always loving God. I grew up in a Christian home, and my parents were missionaries, but I hated God. I hated everything my parents taught me, and ultimately ended up hating my parents. I hated Christianity. I hated everything it stood for, all the rules. It was just way too much for me, and I was a rebel. I ran away from home, and I lived a godless life, and I got addicted to all sorts of immorality and drugs and just the wrong way of life. And but the amazing thing is that after about 7 years, God stepped into my life, and He changed me. I remember that night as if it were yesterday, how God reminded me dramatically of the verse in Matthew chapter 11, verse number 28, which says, "Come to me, you who are tired and weary of carrying heavy loads, and I will give you rest." At that time of my life, I was indeed in great distress. I was carrying heavy loads of drug addiction and all sorts of other vices. And I really needed rest. And as Jesus was offering me this rest, it was an offer I could not refuse. And I realized that moment that all my life I had been sinning and rebelling against God, who was right here in my time of greatest need, offering me this rest. And I came under such fear of God at that time, realizing that I only deserved punishment. I deserved this God's wrath. I deserved hell and hell forever. But here He was offering me rest. And it was on that very day, that same morning, in fact, that I offered my life to Christ. I surrendered. I said, "God, I'm no longer running. I don't want my way anymore. I want your way." And God was true to His offer, and He gave me rest. He gave me rest from my addiction. That very day, my addictions were gone. I experienced no withdrawal symptoms. My mouth was clean. My mind was cleansed. I was a new creation. It was absolutely amazing, and I was on this intense high, being reconciled to God, as if I was living my life for the purpose for which God had created me. And I wanted nothing else other than to serve Him and to please Him. And as I grew in my faith, my desire to share God's love with others just increased. So I traveled overland throughout Africa, right up to South Sudan, just declaring the love of God to whomever I met. And I did such travels for 5 years until I realized that I needed to actually get good theological training in order to be able to teach God's word better, to teach God's love better. So if I look at my life before I met Christ and now, there's been such a drastic and dramatic change in my life, and I have not found any more joy other than serving God and doing what pleases Him. So yeah, Jesus changed my life.